Hey guys, Cozy here back with a tutorial video, and I'll start with the easiest one. I have the clip and I rotoscoped it. If you don't know how to rotoscope in After Effects, it's basically masking out the background from your clip. You can find tons of tutorials on how to rotoscope in After Effects, so first watch them and come back later. Also, I have used some third-party plugins, which are optional, but I recommend getting the Flow plugin. It helps a lot while working with graphs. If you're having trouble finding any of the plugins I've used in this tutorial, feel free to DM me on Instagram and I'll try to help you out. And with that, let's start. First, duplicate the rotoscope layer and select the middle one. Now, I'll add the turbulent displace. Click on the stopwatches of amount, size, and evolution to keyframe them. Press U on your keyboard to reveal the keyframes on your timeline. Then go to the start of your timeline and set the amount value to 0. The size value won't go below 2. And add a keyframe for evolution. This will be the starting point of our effects animation. Just copy the first 3 keyframes and paste them at the end of your timeline. This will create a loop for the animation. Now go to the middle keyframes and adjust the values similar to mine. Remember, you can always make changes to the values based on your own preferences. After that, select the starting keyframes and the middle ones and add a graph. I'm using the Flowchart plugin as it's faster and better. Just copy the graphs that I've applied to the keyframes and it's good to go. You can also apply your own graphs as per your liking, like the one I showed you earlier. And do the same with the ending keyframes. The graphs would be the same as before, but inverted. I'll adjust the values for a better result. Feel free to copy my adjustments if you like them. That looks good. Now, to make the effects black and white, you can use the built-in preset or a third-party plugin like BCC. I'll use BCC for this tutorial. If your effects include too much black color, I recommend adjusting the brightness and other settings to make the color a bit lighter, like gray or dark gray. For the glow effect, I wouldn't recommend using deep glow if you have it, because it can make the effects transparent, which is not what we're aiming for in this tutorial. Instead, you can use other options like glow or add glow to achieve the desired effect. Here I'm using the glow effect, and you can copy these values if you like, but remember that the effect might differ depending on your footage, so feel free to make adjustments to suit your preferences. And finally, we'll add RSMB, which is a third-party plugin that adds motion blur to the effect. Moving on to the next effect, I'll delete the middle layer and duplicate the top layer again. Then, I'll add the turbulent displace effect. Copy the values I'm using, or feel free to use your own values to suit your preferences. After changing the values for amount and size of the displace, click on the stopwatch next to the evolution setting and press U on your keyboard to reveal the keyframe. There will be 3 keyframes for evolution, 1 at the beginning, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the end of the timeline. Now, change the value of the middle keyframe to whatever suits your preference. I'm scaling up the effects to fill the background. Press P on your keyboard and add a keyframe for position, exactly where the evolution keyframes are on the timeline. Go to the first keyframe of the position setting and position the effect on one side of the composition. Now go to the last keyframe and position the effect on the opposite side from the first keyframe. Select the first two keyframes, both the evolution keyframes and the position keyframe, and add the graph. Do the same with the other keyframes on the opposite side. This is why I prefer using the flowchart plugin, because it allows you to assign the same graph to different keyframes at the same time, which makes the process faster. Now, I'm adding the wave warp effect and using the following settings. The wave warp effect is complete, and now, just like before, I'll be adding the black and white filter, glow, and RSMB to complete the effect. Moving on to the next effect, I'll be using the liquefy effect, which is a built-in plugin in After Effects. As before, select the middle layer and add the liquefy effect. There are many tools in the liquefy effect that allow you to distort your clip in various ways. I'm using the spike and stretch tools to create a spiky stretch effect. Feel free to copy my settings for practice or get creative with the other tools to create your own unique look. After you're done with the distortion, it's time to animate it. Click on the stopwatch next to distortion percent and press U on your keyboard to reveal the keyframe on your timeline. Once again, go to the start of your timeline and add a keyframe with a value of 0% for distortion percent. Then go to the end of the timeline and copy the first keyframe and paste it at the end. Select the first two keyframes and add a graph to them using the flowchart plugin or the standard graph editor in After Effects. With that, the liquefy animation is done and looking good. Just add the black and white, filter, glow, and RSMB like before, and you're done. I hope this video helped you in some way. If it did, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future tutorial videos. Thanks for watching.